for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Unconditional love. I never attempt to sacrifice myself my free will. The energy is different. They would try to provoke you right to left. Disrespect you, allow to see you frown. They had to play with spoken and toxic way to make you bent out of shape, but you wasn't trying to catch a case. Why would I stop myself from loving myself? Why would I want to dim my light? The energy is different. When God showed me my faith, days when I couldn't understand my vision, that hold on one second, I was truly worthy. I had folks giving up on me left or right. Said I was truly the problem. Hold on one second, to truly blackmail me. The disrespect was loud. They wanted me to be labeled mentally ill, but God actually showed me balance, acknowledge myself when it comes to my worth. That hold on one second, I wasn't worthy of shortchanging myself. I wasn't worthy of shortchanging myself because I was worthy. I was worthy of acknowledging myself. Never allow someone to discourage you. The jealousy and hate and envy is real because you're keeping it real. Actually going within, they will never understand your acknowledgement. That hold on one second, I acknowledge myself another day. Healing trauma and pain ain't easy, but they will never understand your point of view when it comes to confidence. How they sit back and take notes. The disrespect you allow. They can't wait for you to slip up and say the wrong thing to see you frown. It be the train of thought for me. How folks deal with depression, anxiety, PTSD. I would never sit there and psych my neighbor out their free will when it comes to their mental health. The energy is different. I would never sit there and blackmail my neighbor to put them in a psych or get them locked up because I'm trying to energy harvest off their energy. Let alone try to steal their destiny. Let alone psych them out their free when it comes to their pockets. We all don't operate the same. Jealousy and envy is real. Folks sit there and take notes. Hold on one second. Actually see potential within you. They got a gang stalk you right to left. Didn't matter about your culture, your religion, or your sexual orientation while you stand up for yourself. Hold on one second. You was far from a snitch. Overcoming the storm. They would never understand your reality. To understand your existence. Hold on one second. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy of life. Understanding my world. I was never in competition when it came to my neighbor. The disrespect was loud. They couldn't wait to pick up the phone and say, hold on one second, I'm trying to dim her light to see her frown. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. You ever have folks gang stalking you right to left? Only to project pain, but God make miracles every single day. They would never understand that you was truly the blessing to yourself when God didn't overlook you because God showed up for you. Never not one lie was told. You didn't have to get physical. The energy is different. You wasn't trying to hurt yourself, let alone hurt your neighbor when they try to antagonize you that day. Believing in your faith. It's kind of funny they say that you don't got potential, but they sit there and take notes that be just like you. So inspired, but they would never put respect on your name. The gang stalking was real because God saw everything because God made miracles. Hold on one second, I'm going to allow you to see your enemy. They going to be revealed right to left. You're going to be so surprised. I ain't going to make you feel mentally ill. I got your back. They not going to understand how you restoring yourself every single day. Understanding the vision that, hold on one second, you wasn't trying to fit in when it came to certain folks' lanes. You just knew how to respect your neighbor. That ain't just different. It's kind of funny how certain individuals say they not watching you, but they sitting there paying attention, can't wait for you to slip up. It be the train of thought for me when you mentally woke. They try to disturb your peace because you chose yourself to go with them. They don't want folks to see your truth at the end of the day. How this type of stuff actually happens. You be so surprised when dudes be competing with chicks. How chicks be competing with dudes. Only to realize the hold on one second. Who was really telling the truth? It be the train of thought for me. How it took a group of people to go up against one person because someone truly believed in their faith and not one lie was told because the innocent person didn't have to get physical. They wasn't trying to hurt themselves good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. They wasn't. Expressing yourself in an environment to the wrong people, letting the wrong ear actually hear when they ear hustling. They will put you in competition. They will put a mindset on you that, hold on one second, this is not traditional when it comes to my culture. So I gotta disrespect you out loud. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play with spoken in a toxic way to see you frown. Ain't nobody gonna believe you anyway. But how God works in mysterious ways. Hold on one second, we may not pray the same, but I still know how to respect my neighbor when it came to balance that day. When someone says that you don't have potential, do not give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. How so many individuals can have so much jealousy and hate within them to project it on an innocent person. Because someone allowed a dream to come true. They chose themselves when they almost gave up on themselves. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Certain folks won't reveal their pain. Certain folks talking about, hold on one second, this is what I've been through behind closed doors, but we are not the same. It be the train of thought for me. How they look at you like competition when you was never competing when it come to charm and pain. They would never understand your elevation when you overcame that last testimony while you stand before yourself today. I would never hurt myself. That energy is different. But folks will blackmail you right to left to protect their cover and say that you would hurt yourself. All it has to take is that one slip up at the end of the day. But folks think they gonna run up on you. But God saw the intuition. Hold on one second. God actually was protecting you. Never give up on yourself when someone overlooked you, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody, and that's okay. You overcame a storm when you least expected. How miracles truly do happen every single day when you wasn't rejecting yourself, because God was really showing you balance to acknowledge yourself when it come to your mental health. You prayed to go within. Wasn't looking for validation for folks that understand you, because they look at you like competition. It didn't matter if you sound like a broken record. The right people actually hear you, not to overlook you. The energy is different. You wasn't doing it for likes and views on cloud chasing when it came to loving yourself, to acknowledge yourself that you truly was worthy. They would never understand God's direction. When God brought you balance into your life when it came to your mental health, hold on one second, God didn't shortchange on the day. They would never understand how that sport worked in, work in a toxic way. They try to make you feel like you're supposed to be bent out of shape to catch a case. They wanted you to become your worst enemy, but you understood your faith that, hold on one second, you truly did have potential. You ever had folks come into your life, they call you slow, stupid, and retarded, but this whole entire time they had control issues to them your life because they didn't want you to see, hold on one second, you truly was somebody? That energy is different. How your past try to blackmail you, disrespect you out loud and see you frown, try to make you seem like you're supposed to be mentally ill, but hold on one second, they was disturbing their own peace because you chose yourself to go within and understand that, hold on one second, I was truly keeping it real. I showed up for folks days when I couldn't see. I respected folks at the end of the day. I respected folks when they couldn't even believe in themselves. I ain't have to say nobody's name at the end of the day, but God saw everything when folks had hidden agendas. The energy is different. That's a different type of level when you don't run from your past. When you don't run from your past. The biggest flex with them all, the biggest flex of them all was loving yourself when they tried to discourage you. Play was spoken in a toxic way, but God uplifts you. It was one day at a time, being patient with time and day, and you'd have to get physical. How folks try to size you up to make you feel like you're supposed to be the villain in their story, but God shows you, hold on one second, you was truly worthy. How you got your next door neighbor ear hustling right to left in different area codes, telling you every move, trying to take it to free will when it comes to your mental health. Hold on one second, you have to get dysfunctional. Or because they looked at you like competition. They wanted your storyline to disrespect you out loud and see you frown so you won't get credit for what you've been through. But when God steps in and put certain folks in areas, they would never understand that true angels is truly real. Hold on one second, God was truly showing up for you. It made certain folks feel uncomfortable because you showed up for yourself every single day to acknowledge your worth, that you truly is worthy. The energy is different. I may not make sense to you, but I ain't trying to be like nobody else but me. That energy is different, overcoming pain and trauma. They would never understand we not the same. I was never competing. Be your authentic self. Would make folks feel like, hold on one second, you slow, stupid, and retarded, but I wasn't trying to fit in. Let alone try to catch a case when you try to blackmail me, being myself. It be the train of thought for me. How folks sit there and take notes and disrespect you, call you slow, stupid, and retarded, but hold on one second, they trying to make you as a storyline. Let alone, they trying to paint a picture to have folks look at you like you truly don't have God's light. When you don't worship the devil, the energy is different because you never let your neighbor like competition when you truly fall from a hater. They try to see you frown if they see you smile. They get so sick within their stomach at the end of the day, they be plotting against you. And certain folks will never understand how. I know this person, when you thought you knew them at the end of the day because they picked and choose who they wanted to bully that day. When it came to someone actually having God's favor, that energy is different. And that innocent person, they have to worship the devil. The energy is different. How they sit there and say that someone's a witch, a warlock, or whatever the case may be. They play with witchcraft, voodoo, or whatever the case may be in a toxic way. And that was never that person's reality when someone tried to project pain, when that innocent person wasn't trying to catch a case. It be the train of thought for me. How folks be calling themselves a divine one, the real chosen one, or let alone the child of God. But they sitting there trying to kick their neighbor down and see them frown. Not maintain they smile regardless of poverty and pain, regardless of your upbringing, who didn't love you, love, respect you. At the end of the day, that energy is different when God stands on business. God actually meant what he said, and she said that day, I got your back. I never moved my hands off for you. That energy is different. They would never understand my point of view, how I'm allowing you to see better days ahead when they try to strip everything from you. How they try to get you locked up, put you in a psych ward, paint you out to be somebody you truly wasn't, all because of the fact that you stood up for yourself and you was far from a snitch. They would never understand. Hold on one second, God was truly real. How folks talk about they believe in God, but we may not pray the same, but I still know how to respect my neighbor to stay in my lane. You try to antagonize me, to disrespect me out loud, to see me frown, but hold on one second, God didn't make a mistake to maintain my smile. I had good days and bad days and misunderstanding days. I understood self-control to be my authentic self. You had to call me out right to left. The antagonizing was real, but you forgot to keep it real when it came to your mental health. How you shortchange yourself for your own blessing. Paying attention to what I got going on because I understood that, hold on one second, I was truly worthy. And I had to project pain on you that day. I ain't have to project spoke on you. I ain't have to energy harvest off your energy. I ain't have to destiny swipe with you because I got my own potential when it comes to my blueprints and that you can relate to what's going within. It be the train of thought for me how folks be trying to compete at the end of the day when they can't compare. It be a train of thought for me when God's really uplifting you every single day. They would never understand the storm that you overcame. Understanding that body weight that hits truly different when it comes to maturity. I don't act my shoe size, I act my body weight. We all don't operate the same when it comes to hold on one second. I love myself today. Because when you actually mean what you say and say what you mean, you love yourself, you would never put your neighbor in competition, let alone you wouldn't try to blackmail them to see they like them. You would never sit there and look at your neighbor and have so much hate and jealousy and envy because God is truly keeping it real in their life. That hinge is different. We all don't operate the same. The jealousy and envy was real. All because someone understood discipline to better themselves, not to make themselves mentally ill. It was one day at a time. You would never understand. It was never competition when an innocent person was never competing. They was just choosing themselves to understand the light that God endowed within them. Better days ahead, I got your back. They would never understand your existence when it comes to your intuitions, how jealousy and envy is real. You got beautiful features. It didn't matter about your tax bracket at the end of the day for someone trying to make you mentally unstable. They had to play with spoke in a toxic way, and that's not the type of work that you play with at the end of the day. How it took a whole group of people to go up against one person, then try to paint somebody to be a villain in their story. You hack at someone's devices right to left, and then when someone speaks up for themselves, they mentally ill. They slow, stupid, and retarded. Got the next door neighbor in different area codes pointing out stuff. Hold on one second. This person this person that. All this negative energy, but hold on one second. God saw everything when it came to your intentions. It be the train of thought for me. Never stop being yourself, and I say that respectfully. It's sad and disgusting to see how when someone says, I would never hurt myself, how someone in the background would paint a picture towards an innocent person and say, hey, that person will hurt themselves. And that's not the case. It's a train of thought for me. Also, you can suck them out their free will, their pockets, their eyesight, their mental health. Try to blackmail them because you got controlling issues because you can't be your authentic self. Never give up on yourself, and I say that's respectful to the genuine ones with no misintentions. I truly hope all is well in your end, and I truly hope that you continue to find peace within regardless to who gave up on you, overlooks you. And I say that respectfully. When God sends the right people into your life, they don't have the mindset of having a hate and jealousy and envy mindset towards you. Good day, bad day, or a misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. They will never look at you like competition. They would never try to take your story and blackmail it against you. They would never try to take your story as to what you endured and what you experienced and make money off of it. They would never sit there and get you locked up or put you in a psych board to steal your heritage or steal your creativity. They would never do such a thing. When real people come into your life at the end of the day, they want you to elevate the most healthiest way. They would never blackmail you and those spook at you in a toxic way so you won't be able to speak up for yourself. They would never sit there and energy harvest off your energy. They would never sit there and try to destiny swipe with you because they have their own identity and they're not having a crisis. They just being patient with time and day to understand better days ahead. Hold on one second. I truly got potential to truly go within and be my authentic self. I ain't trying to be like nobody else. That energy is different. We all don't operate the same. My content is not for everyone. When God sends the right people into your life, respect is a two-way street with no malicious intentions. Good day, bad day, or a misunderstanding day, and I say that respectfully. How folks would sit there behind fake pages, dig up your past and humiliate you, doing rituals right to left, but God actually showed up and showed out and saw what they was doing that day. You didn't have to get physical. You didn't have to disrespect your neighbor when they wanted to see you down, let them see you frown. And God brought you balance into your life to acknowledge that you truly was worthy. And God never overlooked you when it came to your faith. They would never understand how. It's a train of thought for me. That spell work must have worked on the last person that you psyched that they mental health, let alone the free will when it comes to their existence. Confirmation. Somebody's not able to tell their story, but someone can truly think for themselves today to understand their existence when you try to ruin their reputation. You can't ruin someone's reputation when someone truly has their heavenly mother and father by their side, and now one lie was told and they have to get physical with you. When they didn't have to antagonize you, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It's a chain of thought for me. Always be yourself. You can call me crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded all day long, but my heavenly mother, my heavenly father saw what you was doing behind closed doors with your weird, malicious intentions, having ass. And I say that respectfully. Folks be like, God, 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 God. But they worshiping the devil this whole entire time. They the biggest enemy of them all, trying to keep their neighbor down, trying to do them wrong. Trying to blackmail somebody just like about they free when it come to their mental health. But you talking about the God? But hold on one second, we don't pray the same. But I still know how to respect my neighbor, not to project that type of pain. Regardless of what I went through in my journey, I had good days, bad days, and misunderstanding days. I never sat there and said I wanted to psych my neighbor out their free will. I never sat there and said I wanted to play with spoken in a toxic way towards my neighbor. I never sat there and said I wanted the energy harvest off my neighbor's energy. I never sat there and said I wanted the destiny swipe with anybody. I never sat there and had the mindset of hacking someone's devices. Good day, bad days, or misunderstanding days. We all don't operate the same. I never had the mindset of gang stalking somebody. It's a train of thought for me. I don't run from my past. That energy is different when you understand elevation, how you stand up for yourself. They say that you're slow, stupid, retarded, that you can't comprehend, you can't take care of yourself, or whatever the case may be, because someone got controlling issues on the other side of that phone, or someone got controlling issues on the other side of a table. That's not yours. But you still knew how to respect your neighbor. Because you tie your shoe differently, they would never understand your point of view. They truly wasn't for you, and that's okay. But respecting your neighbor is not a crime. How folks trying to project a lie, only for the innocent person to understand their faith. I walk with God. The energy is different. The good God hits different. I don't mean no disrespect, but can't nobody ever tell your story better than you. Even they try to duplicate it, run it down, and try to project spell on you or send low frequencies towards you or whatever the fuck case may be. God saw everything. And it's more disgusting for a man to have a jealousy and envy mindset towards a female, a real woman at the end of the day, regardless to what circumstance that woman is in at that moment. She could be homeless today. God forbid. She could be out on the street right now. God forbid. That woman could be in that hospital and just lost everything. You don't know someone's story at the end of the day. Someone can be put in a mindset, someone doing spoke on them in a toxic way, and they trying to find themselves to understand their faith. It's so disgusting how men will project spoke on an innocent female that didn't have to do anything to them. And it's so disgusting for women to do the same thing as well. It's so disgusting. How you got the narrative, you got controlling issues because you know someone in this tax bracket, you know someone in this department, you know someone in that department. So you know what? I'm going to use my tools to manipulate a situation and use my tools because nobody's going to believe this innocent person. How you sat there and made them homeless. How you sat there and sucked them at their free will. How you sat there and said that, you know what? I don't give a F about you. My household's under control. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to my household. But you sat there and disturbed the child of God. A real divine one. A real chosen one. That's a child of God. The energy is different. How people pick and choose who they want to bully. Everybody expresses themselves differently. It's one person in one apartment expressing themselves. It's one person in the next apartment, getting someone's beating their ass right to left. Certain folks' volume is different at the end of the day, but people pick and choose. Hold on one second. I want to paint you out to be the villain of my story. How you walking past this person's door, that person's door, minding your business. Everybody's volume is different at the end of the day, but people pick and choose who door they want to pick on to disrespect out loud. One person TV is loud, the next person got their radio loud, the next person got their TV loud, this person in this apartment, they loud and screaming or whatever the case may be. But hold on one second, you never mention nothing about nobody else, but you decide to pick and choose who you want to bully. How people be operating like this at the end of the day to size you up, to paint you out to be the villain in their story. Hold on one second, but God saw everything. It didn't matter about someone's culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, your age, how this type of stuff truly happens, and the innocent person didn't have to get physical. It be the train of thought for me. Never stop being yourself. Because someone is being paid to blackmail you. Someone is being put in a situation because someone is giving someone an opportunity to better their life. So they want to dim your light. How this type of stuff actually happens. And you wasn't doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. That energy is different. It's a train of thought for me how this type of stuff happens. Can nobody tell your story better than you? And I never knew it was a crime to be yourself, regardless of the environment that you was in that day. I never knew it was a crime to be yourself when you're not trying to hurt yourself or hurt anybody else. And for someone to have the mindset of projecting spell work on you because you're being yourself. It's a train of thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens and someone didn't have to do it for likes and views or cloud chasing. Never allow someone to make you feel like you have to live in fear. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. It's kind of funny how they try to ruin your reputation, neighbor, then dim your light. It's kind of funny how they try to ruin your reputation, but it didn't dim your light. It didn't dim your light. Confirmation. You understood the lane that God created for you. Truly going within, being misunderstood by folks who truly was fools. It'd be a train of thought for me, because if they wasn't, why would they try to hurt you? Because God's trying to figure it out too. It may work on the last person, but they would never understand your point of view. Overcoming what you've been through, trauma and pain, may serve folks feel like, hold on one second, we was truly competing when you was never part of a race. The energy is different. How gravity hits different. Catching your blessings right to left. It wasn't a rejection because God was really showing you to go with it. Misunderstood by folks that understand your love language. That was confidence. It bothered certain folks sight and day. They try to project you to catch your case. But you understood balance when it came to acknowledging yourself to understand your worth. That hold on one second, God didn't make a mistake. How certain folks be jealous and envy because you truly got a beautiful smile. It's days when you want to frown. They would never understand how God gave you balance to go within, acknowledge yourself when it comes to your mental health. It just wasn't it wasn't an overnight process when it came to where you've been today. It wasn't. It was time, day, and change and growth. Overcoming that childhood trauma was truly real. They would never understand how you truly woke. That's the problem. They pick and choose who they want to bully. Excuses, hold on one second, because you believe in God, we got to dim your light to tear you down, to disrespect you out loud, to see you frown. We never saw somebody truly like you. How folks really truly be thinking like this just to abuse you. How they throw spark in someone's way. Try to dim their light when it came their lane. Only the rest to hold on one second. Their reality damn sure just changed. We went up against a real chosen one, a real divine one, a real child of God. We shouldn't have did that day. Trying to make someone bent out of shape when they wasn't trying to catch a case. We blackmailed them right to left. They hacked your devices. Hold on one second. They understand their own mental health. They was acting their shoe size, not their body weight. Talking about they so mature, talking about they so real at the end of the day. Laughing on the way to the bank. Taking your creativity. Trying to dim your light. The gang stalking was real. But this whole entire time, God was truly keeping it real because God saw everything. The energy is different and it wasn't a threat because God elevated you every single day. It's sad to see how it doesn't matter about your tax bracket because you could truly be on an empty stomach. How someone can be jealous and envious towards you. And when you're on an empty stomach, you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. That energy is different. You was never doing it to fit in. You was showing up for your neighbor, showing them, hold on one second. Your voice may be overlooked, but the right people is going to be pointing in your right direction. They ain't going to overlook you. It's not going to be a hesitation because they ain't not going to blackmail you. That energy is different. They see you not to overlook you. Been through so much pain and trauma. It's so, hold on one second. It may be uncomfortable to trust certain folks, but don't miss out on your blessing when God shows up for you. Using your discernment properly. But God will truly protect you from the enemy, let alone the devil, because God don't like ugly. That energy is different. My content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. You could tie your shoe differently. You could have a different type of wardrobe from somebody else when you wasn't trying to catch a case. You could be authentic in your own special way. You could wear your hair differently and you wasn't trying to catch a case. But someone is not used to the typical norm. Being yourself, that energy is different when you wasn't trying to do yourself wrong. You may eat differently. Certain folks don't understand it. Hold on one second. That's not the norm. But that's okay because it's your norm. You wasn't trying to fit in. You was understanding your table that God allowed you to see your existence. They didn't like the fact that, hold on one second, you spoke up for yourself. And you was far from a snitch. The energy is different. You know, when you standing alone and you your biggest cheerleader, never allow the enemy or the devil to make you feel like you need to frown. Never allow them to make you feel like you have to live in fear. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. It's not a crime to be yourself. It's not a crime to express that, hold on one second. My neighbor will paint me out to say I want to hurt me when I would never dare to hurt me. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. It's a train of thought for me. How someone can be jealous and envious because you may be more spiritually gifted than them. Someone be jealous and envy because you know how to think for yourself to be authentic. And it's sad and disgusting to see how people call themselves real bosses and real ones or whatever the case may be. But they can't take their own creativity and do their own thing and let that person who knows how to create stay in their own lane. That energy is different when your neighbor knows how to respect you. You know, when God allows you to create, certain individuals will never understand you. And that's okay, but God saw everything. Certain folks don't believe in God, but they're quick to say the word God. It'd be the chain of thought for me. Because God is good. I don't worship the devil, and I don't worship the bad God. But I know how to respect my neighbor, regardless of how you pray. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Regardless to how you pray, neighbor, I still know how to respect you. And I understand at the end of the day, you're not for me, but I still know how to respect you and stay in my lane. I never looked at you like competition. I never wanted your spot. That energy is different. They would never understand self-love. It truly was balanced that day. I ain't have to get physical. I ain't have to get toxic. All I did was speak up for myself with your ill intentions. You try to second my free will when it came to my confidence. The lack of self-love that you had within. Talking about I had an identity crisis when I wasn't trying to catch a case. I was just being authentic, something that you can relate to. Folks be swearing at you, talking about like a bad habit. But that was never the case because you're just talking out loud. The energy is different. How folks mask be falling off. They fall short when they come to comments since we have to do them wrong. It's a chain of thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens. You know, when God created a lane for you, it's not competition because we was never part of the Olympics. That's something that an innocent person signed up for in the first place. An innocent person did not sign up to be in the Olympics. So for you to have that mindset as to never allow someone to trick you out of your spot, that means you're plotting against somebody to psych them out their mental health. The energy is different. Because when God endorsed a blueprint within that child of God, when God endorsed authenticity in that child of God, God allows that child of God to create. And when that child of God knows how to create, and when their neighbor is sitting there taking notes and trying to take their ideas or whatever case may be, and God sees that, hold on one second, I got you, baby. I got to restore you real quick. I'm protecting your anointings, you know, because they can't take that from you because it's not on you, it's within you. The energy is different. So I'm restoring you again. 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 And I'm going to continue to keep restoring you until they realize to sit the fuck back. and have a seat. That ain't just different. You know, being authentic became a crime. Being authentic became the new jealousy and envy and hate when you keep it real to truly go within. But you didn't have to disrespect your neighbor not one time. It be the train of thought for me how God saw everything. The disrespect was loud. Imagine the angel coming into your life, all you wanted to do is see them frown because someone had potential. You not understand why God overlooked you. Why that person? Why that person? Why that person? Why that person? You got to go talk to God. But I forgot we don't pray the same, so you will never understand elevation when it comes to growth, going within. When you go within, you understand why God by your side. You will understand that, hold on one second. I ain't going to reject myself because I'm truly the blessing. That energy is different because healing, trauma, and pain is not a race, overnight process. And it's sad and disgusting to see how folks be truly be competing when it comes to healing, trauma, and pain. How this type of stuff actually happens. Never allow someone to make you feel like you have to live in fear, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I would never hurt myself, but there's folks that would pay me out too, project that mindset on me. And I say that respectfully. It's a train of thought for me. When someone can't get their way, that's what they do. And because I speak up for about it, I'm wrong. But I would never hurt myself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I love me. I choose me. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. I don't play with spoken in a toxic way. I don't energy harvest people's energy. I don't destiny swipe with people. And I don't hack people's devices. And I do not gang stalk people. And I say that respectfully. And I'm far from a hater. That introduction hits different when you come across a real one that didn't have to wear a mask. They just understand they verse psychology. It wasn't mind games. That love, hold on one second, that unconditional love brought me balance, something that you can relate to. But I actually hope you find peace with that neighbor. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. Have a safe year, day, evening, weekend. You matter and you're worthy. Just because someone gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey, do not give up on yourself. And I say that respectfully. Today is currently May 9th, 2025. Stop the violence. And one thing I don't have to do is lie. I don't. Can't nobody tell your story better than you. And I say that respectfully. Regardless of how much notes they're going to sit there and take, regardless to how many people they're going to send into your life to try to play mind games, nobody can ever tell your story better than you. Even when they try to dig up your past and try to blackmail you, trying to paint you out to be the villain to someone's story. When you wasn't trying to catch a case, you understood what you overcame. You wasn't running from your past. You don't operate the same. I'm far from a hated introduction. It's different. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? Having self-love for yourself is not a crime. So never get discouraged because someone is dealing with insecurity problems or someone has confidence problems or whatever the case may be. They don't understand balance when it comes to rotation going within actually heal. They look at you like competition when you was never competing. They got to disrespect you out loud to see you frown. But God truly was showing you better days ahead. They said God ain't real, but you was truly keeping it real. Misunderstood about folks that truly wasn't for you. When the right people show up for you, they would never overlook you. They ain't got malicious intentions. They truly show you, hold on one second, elevation feels different. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. I do not wish the devil good day, bad day, or a misunderstanding day, and I say that respectfully. Peace and respect, so respect your neighbor, stop a bond. She ready where they don't damn your light. Go, you neighbor, neighbor, don't damn your light. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself or hurt my neighbor. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, and I say that respectfully. And when it comes to my creativity, I give it to my Heavenly Mother and my Heavenly Father God, and I say that respectfully. Good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. My content is not for everyone. I would never hurt myself, but you would pay me out to be, though. It's a difference between me, you, them, and they. When you try to get me locked up, put me in the sideboard, saying I was crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded because I actually expressed to myself to keep it real. When you try to antagonize me, paying this person, paying that person for something I ain't signed up for, or because I truly had potential, that was your issue, putting me in competition when I was never competing. Never give up on yourself because someone wants you to live in fear. Never give up on yourself because someone doesn't want you to choose you. You matter and you're worthy. I'm not here to you, love, respect, and I'm far from a hater. The energy is different. We all aren't the same. Thank you for your time.